Hi, I'm Grace with Be Whole, Be Happy, helping you have more whole and happy relationships, intimacy, and life. Today, I would like to share with you just a few words about the mess of integration and the mess of the spiritual path. Recently, I was reading John O'Donohue, who is a very celebrated Celtic poet, and he said, "There's no such thing as the spiritual path." And that kind of hit me and reverberated pretty intensely because I often talk about the spiritual path, and I've heard my teachers for a long time talking about the spiritual path. What he was saying was, there's no yellow brick road. There's nothing laid before us that says, if you do step 1 and step 2 and step 3, poof, there it's going to be. Now we have technology. I'm a tantric, which means I practice the technology that the masters for thousands of years have said, if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. But the thing is, we have free will. And most of us don't follow that technology to a T. Plus, I live in a city. I interact with people every day. I'm not a hermit in the woods. I have those periods, but then I come back, and I'm polyamorous, and I interact with my relationships, and I'm queer, which gives me a particular handle on the world and my safety and my security in this 21st century American world. So the fact that there isn't a spiritual path, if you want to believe that, means that this is messy. Whatever your chosen awakening methods are, whoever your teachers are, whoever's inspiring you, whoever you feel like is living more authentically than you, when you look up ahead of you, you're excited to see their footprint so that you have something to follow in. It's incredibly important to have those people, but to also know that our path is not going to look like their path, because our past has not looked like their past. So there's a beautiful balance of being a human in this world, especially this world that is so capitalistically, economically driven, that we kind of have to or think we have to do certain things for continuing to progress, for being able to put food on our table. And the question is, how can we do all of that? How can we show up in the fullness of where we've come from, in our relationships, in our families, in this society of life, with as much awareness in every moment as possible? And I'll say again, this path is messy. You are not going to do it right. But actually, there is no right. And my hope is that by hearing that enough times, not just once, but many, 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 many times, hearing that there is no right way might help you to take off your worry hat and step back that pedal of anxiety that's probably 60 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour. There is such a fear of failure, both in our human enterprises and our spiritual growth enterprises. And you can't do it wrong. But what you can do is create the best conditions, is to set yourself up so that you're eating breakfast every morning, so that you figure out a way to sit down on your mat, or do your yoga practice, or do your Tai Chi, go for a walk every day. Have those periods of discipline so that your spiritual path is forward moving. And I hate to say the word progressive because it's not, again, there's no yellow brick road. It is not linear. But what you may find the longer you're on this path is that some of these virtues, some of these traits of awakening or of increased consciousness may start to sink in deeper to your bones. Things like patience. And I definitely can attest that that's been a hard one for me. The recognition that this takes a long ass time. Humility. Being able to say, man, I did not do that right. I caused harm to someone else, which we'll always do when we choose to be in relationship with other people. So what choice am I going to make now so that this is something that's helping me create better conditions to be a better human, to be more aware? We can give ourselves the space to pause in the midst of whatever we're doing, to pause, to take a breath, to step back from that impulsiveness of I have to do it now, which is also our impulsiveness of I have to get it right. This is a messy path. This is a messy abyss. In fact, I hate to say the word path. Something that came to me recently was that at a certain point, there, for me, became no stability in the material anymore. That this physical world and my relationships and my business and even my feet on the earth no longer provides the stability that it used to. When I surrender into the abyss of possibility, into the infiniteness of consciousness that I actually am, then stability slowly starts to come there. Stability in the infinite, stability in the limitless possibilities, stability in that feeling of, I don't know. So one more time, this is messy. If it feels messy, you're doing it right. And find people who you can look up to on this nebulous path that you're on and say, wow, they feel like they have something figured out. I'm going to go talk to them and see. So we need to be inspired. We need to be driven. And we need to be more and more conscious every day. Just have one more moment of awareness around what we're doing. I hope there was some little nugget in here that brought you a smile or some inspiration. I would love to know what it is. Thank you for watching, and may you have the most abundantly messy and joyful day.